How do, and welcome to another video. We're doing a little series on brewing history, the towns, the people and the stories that are associated with the various and amazing stories of British brewing. And our first story begins just a couple of miles up the road there, here in Masham. For those that know Masham, you'll know there's some truly legendary breweries here, and for those who don't, will have definitely heard of them. So let's start at the beginning. We're here on the site of the old Wellgarth Brewery, home of Thomas Lightfoot, the only real brewer back in the early 1800s. This is the site of the Wellgarth Brewery, but this isn't the start of our story. Our story begins here. This building, now being used as a very good wine shop, was once the Black Bull pub. It's here in 1827 that a brewery was formed. A local farmer started brewing beer here, and due to increased demands, decided to build a brewery at the back of the Black Bull. As we walk up the street, we can see parts of the old building and how it was a brewery back in the day. And the farmer's name? Robert Theakston. Around 1840, the Theakstons acquired a field just to the west of the town. This field was known locally as Paradise Field. And we can see using these old maps, Paradise Field highlighted with the blue arrow and the old Black Bull with the orange arrow. In 1875, Robert's sons, Thomas and Robert, opened up here, the Theakstons Brewery. The brewery has been at the heart of Masham ever since then, and in 1919 acquired the Lightfoot Brewery in Wellgarth and subsequently closed it down. This said, Theakstons have given a poignant nod to their history. The brewery bar and visitor centre is called the Black Bull in Paradise, and they even have a beer called Lightfoot in recognition of their history. So after over 100 years of brewing at Paradise Field and over 150 years of Theakstons history, storm clouds were gathering. In 1984, Theakstons were bought out by Matthew Brown. This and over the following years, things soon spiralled. They were in the hands of the much bigger Scottish and Newcastle. With many mergers and acquisitions continuing at pace, the Theakstons brand was in danger of being lost. Of course, these were troubling times, and indeed the original takeover in 1984 did not go down well. It didn't go down with some of the family members or indeed shareholders. This led to an astonishing twist. One family member, Paul Theakston, was adamant that Theakstons should remain independent and refused to let 5 generations of Theakstons brewing leave Masham. Paul had a plan. Paul set up his own brewery. As local folklore now tells, Paul was the black sheep of the family. Black Sheep made their home here, on part of the old Wellgarth Brewery and the old Maltings building. Indeed, as folklore goes, leaving Theakstons made Paul Theakston the black sheep of the family. Paul managed to gather brewing equipment from closed down breweries, and in 1992 he opened up the Black Sheep Brewery. And the first batch of Black Sheep Best Bitter was sold here, the Bruce Arms, on the 14th of September 1992. So is this the end of our video? Well, no. In an extraordinary twist of fate in 2003, the Theakstons brewery and brand were sold back to the Theakstons family. Theakstons was once again independent and Masham was thriving. So today, Theakstons continue to brew their beer at their home on Paradise Field. The Lightfoot Brewery in Wellgarth is still owned by Theakstons, and indeed their flagship pub, the White Bear, stands proudly in the middle. And just behind here is the home to Black Sheep. So there's another twist to the story. Sadly, in 2023, Black Sheep effectively went bust. It was saved by the grace of some investment bankers. Although highly controversial, this move ensured the continuation of the brewery and all the jobs that it provided. So what does the future hold? I have no idea. Over 12 years ago, a small but dedicated team and brewery was formed just down the road from Masham. Along with a devilishly handsome brewer, they strive to ensure that this small part of the world continues to provide some of the best beers the world has ever seen. They're providing their own legacy and creating their own stories, because this is my slice of paradise and this is my heartland. Thanks for watching.